Welcome back to ASH News TV for what is expected to be a jam-packed day of learning and networking.
Thousands of hematologists are in and out of sessions that highlight the latest clinical and research advances related to the causes and treatments of blood disorders.
But behind the scenes, press briefings geared toward the more than 200 reporters covering the meeting both remotely and on site highlight some of the most newsworthy abstracts from the meeting.
I'm here with Dr. Chancellor Donald, who just finished moderating a press briefing highlighting several studies showing the impact of diet and lifestyle factors on hematologic care for the reporters covering the meeting. Dr. Donald, what is the significance of these studies?
I think we all know that if someone is facing a challenge of a blood disorder, the first question that is naturally asked is, what did I do to have this occur and what can I do to help this? So lifestyle modification, of course, is something that we readily can do, and to have information on things that could help actually with the prevention as well as their intervention and improvement of outcomes with certain blood disorders is a huge thing for us to focus on.
And what is the broader impact?
The impact is healthier living that would encompass more than just therapeutics that we may give or prescribe, and also may actually one day lead to the ability to help reduce the chances of actually forming the disorder in the first place.
So obviously you had a full room of reporters here. Were there any questions that some of the reporters brought up that you found particularly interesting?
Well, I know with the GLP-1 agonist that there's a lot of talk about broader implications that we can have besides weight loss or control with diabetes. So I think the reporters certainly wanted to focus on that and potential implications. But of course, as the presenter pointed out, more data is needed and more studies are needed before we say anything definitive.
Well, as always, ASH annual meeting showcases very important research which benefits the global community. Again, thank you so much, Doctor. Appreciate your time.
Absolutely. Thank you. Enjoy the meeting, everyone.
Patients with high-risk LBCL may need an alternate direction for frontline therapy. What if we can offer patients with high-risk LBCL another path at diagnosis? Research is ongoing. Novartis is investigating a first-line approach for patients with high-risk LBCL. Learn more at booth number 2529.
The next generation of hematology researchers, clinicians, and leaders connected at the Career Development Lunch, one of the many exclusive events for trainees this week. I'm joined now by Dr. Isena Lumé, who shared some exciting resources and opportunities. Tell us a little bit more about what trainees can expect from ASH to help further their career when they're in the beginning stages.
There's so much that ASH offers, and every year that continues to grow. One of the major ones is Ashapalooza, which took place yesterday, which is an entire day of training didactics, more like TED Talks and interactive sessions with actually top subject matter experts in the field with mentorship and topics that are very prevalent right now in hematology. We also have, as of today, the Career Development Luncheon, which is a tradition and is very, very well sought out, where you get to sit with a subject matter expert in a small group setting and talk about any questions that you might have about how to get to that same career or any other paths that you might need. There's so many other resources, I can list them, they're endlessly. One of the ones that's very dear to my heart is the Hematology Review Series, which is a free hematology focused review course that occurs every year, which is free of charge. That includes classical hematology and malignant hematology subjects that are prevalent currently, and they're actually updated every year free of charge compared to spending thousands of dollars in a review course. But I always say to the trainees to please go online. There's so many other resources like grants, mentorship programs of that kind as well that are available for them, free of charge and endless, and that continues to grow every year.
Talk to us a little bit more about any of the programs that trainees can apply for right now, today, that they should be looking into.
Yeah, as I mentioned before, the review course is a free one that they can apply for. It occurs every year starting in June. Another one is the Training Council, which is if you are a trainee and you want to see changes and what's needed for trainings, you can apply as a medical student, resident, or fellow. And you can actually be the voice that moves these resources forward in the future.
As you just heard, there are many early career development programs, including a new one called the CHAMP program, in which we spoke to Dr. Park about.
This is a program that was based off a pilot mentorship program that I ran several years ago, and it's really for trainees who are interested in classical hematology. We paired them with a mentor, and the pilot program, we found that it increased confidence and a sense of community in classical hematology. It furthered career development, and it also really facilitated networking with leaders in the field. Applications are currently open for both mentors and mentees, and they close on January 9th, so please apply.
I think mentorship has been crucial in my journey so far, and I'm always actively seeking avenues for mentorship, and so being able to find that through ASH is invaluable. I think there are a few other places that would be as perfect to find significant mentors in hematology.
I've been a mentor for several of them, and they've gone places, gone to do, fellowship and faculty in like really good academic centers. And this really helps, junior faculties and fellows to really love doing research.
Visit our trainee resources page to learn more about these career advancing grants, fellowships, and awards. Applications are open now for the round of awards closing early next year.
ASH is working to advance key legislation at the federal level to improve health outcomes through advocacy efforts. The Grassroots Network Lunch takes place annually and serves as a forum for interested hematologists to learn about ASH's legislative priorities and how they can participate in ASH advocacy efforts. I'm here with session co-chair Dr. Holter Chakrabarty. Doctor, why is it important for hematologists to get more involved in advocacy?
So I think when you're talking about what you can do for patients, it's absolutely critical that we know that we teach our government what we need. They work for us. And with hematology, things are very, very difficult sometimes to understand. And so being able to tell those patient stories to our government officials and help them understand how their legislative actions actually directly affect our patients is absolutely critical. Everyone can do it. Everyone should. I think it is one of the essential things that we all have to do as physicians so that we can make sure we advocate for our patients.
Do you have any suggestions on how members can get more involved in advocacy?
Oh, I have so many. Let's start with, if you go to our advocacy webpage, there will be an action join now. You can join the Grassroots Network, which we're going to do today, but you can also, when you join that, there are action alerts that will go out. So whenever we have a policy update that we really want to influence, it goes out to all of us. We can all then click on it, put in your name, and it will actually identify who your legislature person is and help you create an email that you can immediately send. You can also use social media if you'd like. That is critical because we're going to all, with the same voice, we're going to tell our government what we need, and we're going to do it all together so that they can listen.
Great. And so what are some of ASH's advocacy priorities for 2025?
Wonderful. So with everything, we are looking for the cures and the better treatments for all of our patients all the time. The only way we can do that is through NIH funding. So we always advocate to make sure that we keep our PhD and MD colleagues that are in the research field funded so that they can make those cures. That's just how it happens. Secondly, access to care is absolutely critical. If you don't have access to the appropriate subspecialist, like someone with sickle cell disease that needs a hematologist, you're not going to get the best care. You're not going. They may or may not know the guidelines that we've created through ASH that help provide that great care. So we're trying to improve that access. We are actively trying to improve sickle cell disease therapy, and we're trying to get data collected through the program so that we can make sure that we have the appropriate data to make the appropriate decisions, and we're trying to create comprehensive health care for these individuals, which is absolutely critical for everyone, but certainly critical for sickle cell disease. Lastly, Medicare reimbursement. We have to be paid for what we do so that we can see the patients that we see. And so we are working to try and make sure everyone understands that it's just we're asking for the time to care for our patients.
Very good. Well, we look forward to seeing how all of these advocacy efforts pan out in 2025. And thank you again for spending a few minutes with us here on Nash News TV, Doctor.
So important, and thank you.
The Novartis-sponsored VAHIT-1 and VAHIT-2 Phase 3 studies in patients with primary immune thrombocytopenia are currently enrolling in the United States. VAHIT-1 and VAHIT-2 investigate the addition of ianalumab to standard first-line corticosteroids and second-line thrombopoietin receptor agonist therapy, respectively. The primary endpoint is time from randomization to treatment failure. Visit the Novartis booth, number 2529, for more information.
An oral abstract presentation at the Health Services and Quality Improvement session focused on the groundbreaking initiative, the reconsideration of ANC by Duffy status.
We note that there are dramatic differences in expected healthy and normal ANC by Duffy status, whether you're Duffy null or Duffy non-null. And so updating these ranges to make sure that we are reflecting health for everyone that we serve is an incredibly valuable effort, and one that with the partnership of ASH and the Doris Duke Foundation, we're making really great strides in accelerating that uptake across the United States, both for adults and for pediatrics. We are working with 24 different institutions to collect samples from adults and pediatric patients who are otherwise healthy to establish these normal neutrophil reference ranges. We've already started the collection. We mostly have adult samples at this point. Some of the reference ranges for adults are already being utilized at these institutions, so we're making really rapid progress in this effort, and it's all with the support of ASH and Doris Duke.
The Ham Wasserman Lecture is one of the most highly anticipated marquee sessions. This year, Dr. Dipti Jain shared milestones and progress in understanding sickle cell disease phenotype accelerated by the Government of India's ambitious 2023 National Sickle Cell Anemia Elimination Mission, among other comprehensive guidelines and implementations.
To decrease the prevalence of sickle cell disease, provide quality care to all patients of sickle cell, to the last mile we go, and in future about gene therapy and transplant for all my patients. We can improve the life of sickle cell disease with whatever we have, wherever we are.
The Novartis-sponsored WAHIA clinical trial is currently enrolling in the United States. WAHIA is a Phase 3 study of ianalumab in patients with warm autoimmune hemolytic anemia who failed at least one line of treatment. The primary endpoint is the achievement of durable response for at least 8 consecutive weeks between week 9 and week 25 in the absence of rescue or prohibited treatment. Visit the Novartis booth, number 2529, for more information.
A new pilot program has been launched by ASH, the Treating Fairly initiative. Treating Fairly is defined as providing equitable care to all patients. A deep dive into the program took place at the Symposium on Quality, which addressed the role of quality improvement in combating healthcare disparities. Dr. Suker shared some of the key takeaways he hopes attendees walk away with.
The goal is to create a list of areas in hematology where there's significant health inequity and encourage users to design interventions and implement interventions to advance health equity in hematology.
This initiative really aims to try to promote actionable activities that we can use so that every individual, regardless of race, ethnicity, sex, gender, disability, socioeconomic status, has the same access to the highest level of care.
The Blood Journals studio, centrally located in the poster hall, is home to the Distinguished Abstract Achievement Award ceremony. This special celebration recognizes the top scoring abstracts in the trainee categories of undergraduate, graduate, medical student, resident, and postdoctoral fellow. We had a chance to speak to some of this year's recipients.
I was awarded for my abstract, which is characterizing a novel target in diffuse large B-cell lymphoma, which we hope can be used as a potential therapy for patients. It's a great opportunity to come here and meet other experts in the field and potential collaborators and just network and be inspired by all the great research that's going on.
In my research, I try to demonstrate that RIC for regimen for conditioning is better than MAC for patients to undergo to transplant. For me, it's important because never I work in something great.
I was given the HIP GSAA award, which is I'm very thankful to the ASH for giving me this. It was a great honor, and I think we're going in the right direction because the finding from my work also it says a lot about how we can treat CLL. So I think this award is a recognition of that fact that it could potentially be very helpful for all patients.
We bid farewell to another day of discovery, advocacy, and innovation at the leading event helping hematologists conquer blood diseases worldwide, the ASH Annual Meeting and Exposition. We look forward to seeing you on the next edition of ASH News TV.